Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video I am going to be showing you how to increase. Okay, so how to increase when you are doing Tunisian crochet. This is obviously the next video in our Tunisian crochet series, and yeah, I think an important technique to learn how to do is how to increase. So let's get to it. Alright, so as you can see, for those of you who saw my last video, you will recognize this stitch as the Tunisian simple stitch. If you don't know how to get to this point, then stop the video now and watch my previous video and then come back to this one. Okay, so let's count the number of stitches. If we're gonna be increasing, then we need to know where we're starting out. I actually already know how many stitches, or in this case the loops, that I have that correspond to the stitches on my crochet hook, my Tunisian crochet hook, but for your sake, since you weren't watching me while I crochet this out, you don't know. Alright, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so we have 18 loops. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, and this is just a little refresher, is do my return pass, right? So I can go back and start over here. Alright, so remember, you always, before you going back, you yarn over and you chain one, like that. Remember the cute little chain there. And then you just yarn over and go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. I'm keeping it loose, go through 2, 2. I'm going to fast forward now. Alright, so now I'm back where I want to be, and I see all of my vertical lines looking just very out there for me to grab, and that's the way I like it. So the first type of increase that I'm going to show you how to make is the right edge increase. Okay, now normally when we're just doing the regular Tunisian simple stitch, we always bypass this vertical line, that first one, right? And we always go into the second one. But to increase on this right edge, we're actually going to utilize that first one. So the way you do it is you chain one, okay? And then we actually go into the forbidden vertical bar or line that we don't normally use. We yarn over and we pull up a loop. Okay? And now you'll notice we have 2 loops for that one vertical bar. Okay? So that's how you increase on the right edge. Now we're just going to go through some more loops like regular. Okay? So we will go through that one, go through the next one. Okay, so you'll look down here. Let me get my darning weaving tapestry needle here. For these 3 vertical lines, these 3 stitches, you'll notice we have 4 loops. And remember, that's because we increase at the very beginning. Okay, so just making our way over through that front bar, just picking up some loops. Okay. So now we are going to do a make one, or the full stitch method it's called, okay? And so basically, let me grab my trusty darning weaving tapestry needle again. Alright, so you see how you have this vertical line, and then you have that vertical line right there, okay? I don't know if you can kind of see it, it's kind of slanted, but there's one and then there's one. So we will go in this one, right? Like normal, and pull up a loop. But here's a center increase. So instead of going into that one, that's what we would normally do. What we're going to do is we're going to go in between that line and that line. So in between the stitches, yarn over and pull up a loop. And now we're going to go into that next line, the next vertical bar, and yarn over and pull up a loop. Okay? And once again, we've increased. How can you tell that we've increased? Well, this line right here goes to that line goes to that line right there, it doesn't go to a line. We created it, right, by just going in and yarning over, okay, and pulling up. So that's how you do an increase, or one of the ways that you can do an increase in the middle of your work. And once again, it doesn't have to be in the exact middle. I'm just saying middle to differentiate it between the right edge or the left edge. All right, so another way to increase is to simply yarn under. So normally we yarn over like this, right? But to yarn under, we go the other way, and we're going to have to hold it with our pointer finger, okay? And now, this can get kind of tricky until you get comfortable, but it helps to scoot your stitches up. Hold that. And now we go into the next vertical bar, which is there. Yarn over and pull up on the loop. Okay, so now we have an extra loop there from the yarning under. Okay. The next way to increase not on an edge is to yarn over. So we yarn over, and then we go into the next vertical bar, which is there, and carry on as normal. Yarn over and pull up. Okay. So I've essentially shown you 3 different ways to increase along the center of your work. The first way was to go in between the lines. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through and up. Okay. The second way was to yarn under before going through the vertical bar, and you have to hold that or you're going to lose that yarn under. Okay. And then the third way that I just showed you was to yarn over, so to wrap the yarn around the crochet hook in the other direction before entering that next vertical stitch. Okay. All right, so now it's time to increase between the penultimate and the final stitch, or the left edge stitch. Okay, so that's between this line and that edge stitch. And basically, it's the same way that we increased over here where we went in between the lines. We do the same thing. So we go past that line in the center, yarn over, and pull up. Okay, that's an increase there. And now we continue with the edge stitch. Remember, when you go through the edge stitch, you go through not only the front, which is there, but if you turn it, that back loop as well. So it should look like there's a little chain stitch resting on your crochet hook. Then yarn over and pull up. Okay? So you have increased several times. We increased on the right side. We increased 3 times in between. So remember, once again, we did the increase by going in between the lines. Then we did an increase through the yarn under method. Then we did an increase through the yarn over method. And then finally, we did another increase on the left edge by essentially going between the second to last, or penultimate, and final stitch. Okay? So you guys, that is how you increase. Those are just 5 different ways that you can increase your work. And then if we work our way back across, so remember, you always chain 1 first, so you go through only 1. And now let's yarn over, go through 2. Let's just make our way back to see what it's going to look like. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2. I don't know if you can tell, but there's so many more loops than there were. The last row, go through 2, yarn over, 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 go through 2, and yarn over, go through 2. Okay, so if you look at it, yeah, it's starting to kind of spread at the top. So you guys, that is going to be it for this video. This is how you increase 5 different ways. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. But I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting.